It is time for us to check sports here on the Breakfast Club on Whdd Radio. First of all, we will take a look at the scores from yesterday. The Mets were shut out by the Brewers 6-0. 6-0. Wow. That's a shocker for me to take a look right off the bat. The Nationals over the Braves 3-2, so the Mets did not lose their lead. In Houston, the Astros down the Rays 5-2. The Reds over the Red Sox 5-1. The Cubs beat the Marlins 4-3. Phillies over the Blue Jays 4-3. Good day for the Yankees. We'll explain why. The Yankees 14, the Pirates 2. Orioles over the Tigers 8-1. The Rangers over the Angels 7-2. The Guardians, they've clinched their division now. There's no doubt about it. They're just cleaning up with the teams that were behind them. The Guardians they wiped out Minnesota last week, and they're in the process of wiping out the White Sox this week. Guardians down the White Sox by a score of 8-2. The Royals 5, the Twins 2. The Giants over the Rockies 6-1. The Padres over the Cardinals 1-0. The Athletics over the Mariners 2-1. And the Diamondbacks over the Dodgers by a score of 6-1. Now, the reason I mentioned all those additional comments with some of the games, when you take a look at the standings, all right. Reason I said it was a good day for the Yankees. Yeah, the Yankees won. That's not the reason it was a good day. Both Toronto and Tampa Bay lost. So the Yankees now stretch their lead back to 6.5 games over Toronto and 6.5 games over Tampa Bay. Baltimore, still with their fantastic year, which shows that they have really completed their turnaround. They are 4 games out of the wild card, but they're 77-71. Above 500, and the Red Sox are at 72-76. So that's why it was a good day for the Yankees. They got their lead back to 6.5. Cleveland, as I said, 2 weeks ago, had a 1 or 2 game lead over Chicago, and I think 3 over Minnesota. As you wake up this morning, Cleveland, the Guardians, has a 6 game lead over Chicago and 9 over Minnesota. They have just done extremely well against those teams over the past couple of weeks. Houston, they are what they are. 17 games in front of the second place team. 99 wins on the year, second only to the Dodgers. The Mets still have that 1 game lead over Atlanta. They've got 95 wins. St. Louis has a 7.5 game lead over Milwaukee. The Dodgers have a 20 game lead over San Diego. They have 103 wins on the season. The Yankees got their 90th win of the season last night. So that's the look at Major League Baseball, and they were knocking the ball around the park yesterday, just knocking it around the park with the Yankees. They ended the game the day before yesterday with a grand slam. They opened up their game yesterday with a grand slam. So their on and off hitting looks to be on again. Now here's a story that popped up that I wasn't really aware of. 2 players, including Super Bowl champion, are been suspended 3 games for violating the substance abuse policy. The 2 players will be eligible to return in week 6. And who are the players? Los Angeles Rams tight end Bryson Hopkins and Pittsburgh Steelers safety DeMonte Casey both will be out for their team's next 3 games. Hopkins caught 4 passes for 47 yards in the Rams' 2022 Super Bowl win when he had to play. He's not played a lot this year, so it's not going to really mean a lot to them. 8 snaps. So that's that. But anyway, now Casey was on the injured reserve list, so he was slated to miss the games for the next 2 weeks anyway. So he won't be active till week 6 with Tampa Bay. You would think, with everything that has gone into sports about drugs that you can't use, that you would be aware and not break those violations. I mean, come on. It's your livelihood. But and by the way, in the NFL, players have advisors there. I mean, they're given every chance not to screw up in the NFL. The Giants got criticism from one of their players. I should be playing. And that player is somebody who really hasn't shown anything. Kenny Golladay. He got one of the biggest contracts for a wide receiver before 2021. He signed a 4-year deal worth $72 million. That deal was made by Dave Gettleman. Last week he played just 2 snaps. So he's in the second year of that deal, but the new coaching staff made it clear that his playing time is earned, not given because you were given a big contract. And they base it on who's doing what during games and also in practice. He says he should be playing. But there's tension there. So maybe if he shows more in practice, he'll play. And maybe he'll show he's worth the $21 million. But maybe he won't. And if he doesn't, there's an old saying. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's a really old saying. Well, anyways, that is our check on sports this morning. Like I said, I searched for audio for the Mets and for the Red Sox, and I couldn't find any. And, of course, the Yankees, there was lots of audio. Because Judge didn't hit a home run, but I think he went 3 for 5, raising his average. And so now he is really locked in to be a Triple Crown winner. Batting average, home runs, and RBIs. In home runs and RBIs, no one's going to catch him. He's that far ahead. It's going to be a close battle for the batting average. And we'll have to see what goes on over the next week to 10 days. But with what's going on with Judge, it appears the Yankees are juiced up because they're excited. And the networks are juiced up. And most of the highlights you get are the Yankees. So I'm sorry about that. We'll try tomorrow again to bring you different audio. So today I didn't bring any audio at all.